The belief in the concept of original sin is foundational to one's acceptance that taxation can exist as a moral good. So this is part of a series of videos I do where I take little snippets or short little things I post on Facebook statuses or Twitter, things like that, where there's a limited number of characters, so it makes me condense ideas into something small. Then I put it out there and then I engage with people in the comments. And I'd like to also bring it here on YouTube and in video form and audio form and have other people engage on these ideas. In this case, I'm talking about original sin in the concept that you find in Christianity, and it does exist in other religions in general, and it's based off that whole idea that humanity is flawed. Humans are inherently flawed, and there's something that we owe the greater society, that we owe some kind of perfect being out there this reparations. We owe some payments to them for our continued existence. We have to be forgiven. We have to pay it forward. We have to pay somehow in order to actually be made whole again. And this is not something that's original to Christianity. Just like Christianity borrowed certain concepts from religions that came before it, right now with the metheist, statist religions, like with things like socialism and the way people approach these things, it is a religious experience for most of these people. And they look at something in general with taxation where they say, yes, we as human beings can be born into a world, born into a situation where we owe our lives to other people. We owe a certain percentage of our life, of what we produce, to this other external being, this external entity that we have to pay. It's completely okay. This entity can demand from us, can take from us this percentage of our lives and have it be completely positive, completely good, be a social good. This is for the greater good in order to pay this out. You'll have some people who are religious who will say, yes, you have to go to church. You give confession. You give 10%. They're okay with you're supposed to give 10% of what you earn back to God. That's what you're supposed to do. That's a positive thing. Yet you have these people also go and complain and say, oh no, the taxation from the state is wrong. Is that because it comes from humans? Well, you might think they're humans, just how you look at other religions and you say, oh, that prophet from your religion, that's just a human being. He's not actually God. Oh, that being that you actually started the whole thing, you call him Messiah, no, that's just a prophet. He's not an actual God. And then they don't decide we have to pay our 10%, we have to pay our certain amount to those gods of yours. They look at those people as human and say, no, our God is the one that we have to do. So now when people look at the state as their God and they think taxation paying to the state is because humans are inherently evil, because without the state taking away this money, humans will not actually help each other. It will go to hell. People will be in just chaos. It will just be a chaotic situation. So they think for their God, taxation needs to be paid. And now I do know it's a different situation where right now this is the most dominant religion with the statism. They have the most power where you get to these situations where, but when other religions were in power, they were also taxing in general. It's not like they were against this. There's nothing in these other theologies that is against this whole process of you being born as a lesser being and needing to pay something to this perfect being that is going to bring you to that sense of that area of salvation that's going to free you from this broken form that you have. And this will be expanded on some other time, because if you really think about it, in both these situations, the entity that you're supposed to pay to, that this perfect entity, is also the one who is responsible for breaking you or having broken you to begin with. That's for another time. Like, share, and subscribe. Goodbye.